Hey guys, so I finally got my Lenovo Legion Go delivered and I'm super excited to see what the hype is all about and to see what this thing is capable of. It feels like the PC handheld market is growing faster than it can keep up, but it's exciting to see more and more companies take this market seriously and produce their own handhelds, and I'm here to see it. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my first impressions of the Lenovo Legion Go, one of the latest PC handhelds to enter the market. So let's get into it. One of the first things I noticed about the Legion Go is how large this thing is. It's larger than the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, and that's mainly due to the screen size. It has an 8.8-inch screen, but I don't think the size is anything too crazy. I actually got used to it relatively quick after using it for a bit. And it's actually one of the things I appreciate about the device is that it has a larger screen than all of my other handhelds. And I would say this is the Legion Go's X factor, or what makes it stand out compared to other PC handhelds, especially compared to the ROG Ally, since they both share the same APU. But of course, when it comes to a larger device, it tends to weigh more, and it does weigh more than a Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. It weighs about 840 grams. And while holding it with two hands, it didn't really feel too heavy. It actually felt lighter than I expected. But when I would hold the device with, let's say, one hand and I would try to use the touch controls, my hand holding the device would eventually become fatigued. So yeah, there's that. The screen looks great, it gets nice and bright, and I really like the screen size. And that's something I didn't really care for at first, because I know if I'm playing a demanding game, I'm just gonna drop the resolution. And when you drop the resolution on a bigger screen like this, it's gonna look worse than, let's say, on the screen of the ROG Ally. But after playing some games with it for a bit, I started to actually enjoy the bigger screen. The colors are vibrant as well, just like on the ROG Ally. And of course, another positive about the screen is that it is a high refresh rate panel, up to 144 Hertz, which is absolutely insane. I'm not sure how many games are actually going to take advantage of this, but hey, at least we got it, so that's cool. But one area that the screen falls short in is that it doesn't have VRR, or variable refresh rate, which I think is important and almost necessary to have on a handheld. Yes, this handheld is powerful, but when it comes to playing AAA demanding games, drops in FPS can and will happen. And it's nice to have that in place so you can minimize screen tearing and stuttering, because I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate screen tearing. It just takes me out of the experience. So far, I'm really liking the buttons. The D-pad feels nice and clicky. It's very tactile, so you know that you're pressing it. The analog sticks are not full size, which I would have loved for them to be, because I do play a lot of first-person shooters, and generally full-size sticks are a lot better when playing those games because they give you more room to make micro adjustments. But I will say they feel very nice and smooth to move around, and they are Hall effect sticks too, so theoretically they shouldn't develop stick drift for a very long time, or not even at all. The bumpers feel nice and tactile, but one of my absolute favorite things about the Legion Go is the triggers. They are so good. When I press them down, they feel very smooth. I would say they feel better than the Steam Deck's triggers, and that's saying something because the Steam Deck has some really good triggers, but these ones are on another level. You really have to try it out to see how good they are. Also, the mouse controls are actually pretty cool. I thought it would be a gimmick at first, but it's actually accurate, but it does take time to get used to because of the awkward shape and grip. The addition of the touchpad is greatly appreciated because it is running on Windows 11, and we all know that Windows 11 isn't the greatest on handhelds, so with this it makes it easier to navigate the OS since it functions precisely like a mouse. But the buttons are not completely perfect, especially when it comes to the awkward placement of the view and menu buttons. They sit in the bottom left corner, but if you've used any conventional controller or even handheld, you're probably used to them being where the Legion Space and quick settings buttons are. So I kind of had to train myself not to press those buttons, or else I'd be accidentally opening up Legion Space while I'm playing a game. The initial setup was smooth, like going through the whole Windows intro, but once I actually got into the UI, that's where the software issues began to show. One of the first things I noticed was that the Legion Space app wasn't actually downloaded onto the device. Like, it was in my taskbar, but it wasn't actually downloaded, because at first I was trying to press the Legion Space button and the quick settings button, and they weren't doing anything. They weren't popping up Legion Space or anything like that until I actually downloaded Legion Space. Then they began to work. Another thing that I had an issue with was that the Xbox app would not update no matter what I did, so I just had to uninstall it and re-download it. Then it worked fine. And then another issue that I ran into was that the frame rate monitor wouldn't always work. Like, at times it would work in game, and then other times it wouldn't. What I've noticed is that PC handhelds really struggle with software right out of the gate, and that's something that really needs to be prioritized because these machines are supposed to be tailored to the casual market or average gamer. And if they have issues like this, people are gonna get annoyed, and if they aren't tech savvy, they might not even know how to fix the issue. But luckily these are software issues and they can be fixed, but that's still not an excuse for it at all. But I will say Windows 11 does feel better here in terms of functionality compared to the ROG Ally because it does have that larger screen, so icons are larger and easier to press, and coupled with the touchpad, it definitely creates a better user experience. Legion Space is actually really cool in my opinion. I like how it keeps it simple. You can access your game library pretty easily, and they have a store at the bottom where you can see games that are for sale, and I like how they have a section where you can download popular game launchers such as Steam, Epic Games, Ubisoft Connect, and more. Oh, and they also give you game recommendations at the top, so that's another positive, but I would say it needs some more updates to make it feel smoother and less janky. Next up, we have storage, and I am absolutely loving the 1 terabyte of storage that comes with the Legion Go if you get the $750 variant. And I would say just go with the 1 terabyte version. It only costs $50 more, and if you're already spending $700, what's an extra 50, right? But yeah, after downloading like maybe 13 games, then I began to run low on storage, and that's more than enough games that I'll be able to enjoy. Also, I have to applaud Lenovo for giving us a premium feeling hard case with the Legion Go. I think Asus can learn from that because not only did we not get a case with the ROG Ally, but the OEM case that costs $40 isn't even a hard case, it's a soft one. But yeah, I like this case. It even has a little section to place the thumbsticks in the attachment that turns the controller into a mouse essentially. But I'll be doing a more comprehensive review after I spend more time with the device.